You heard there Fitch withdrawing its ratings. How is this going to affect Lebanon's ability to engage with financial institutions and attract foreign investment and secure international aid? This is all bad news, is it not?
It is. I mean, to understand Fitch's action, what they're saying is that basic data about the economy, GDP, GNP, debt data, fiscal data, there's been no budget declared and numbers since 2021. The same is true for GDP. There is lack of transparency on monetary transactions, on the balance of payments, on international reserves. So all of this led Fitch to stop rating Lebanon. Already, I mean, it's CCC rated. So there's not going to be any further impact. But what it signals really is that despite this is the 5th year of one of the greatest financial crises in history, since 2018, 2019, and yet there's been no action on undertaking reforms that had been discussed with the IMF and others. So when Fitch takes an action like this, it just confirms that the lack of transparency and lack of disclosure means that it's becoming increasingly high risk.
So what are the reforms that Lebanon needs to undertake before it can unlock the IMF deal and secure that much-needed financial assistance? And why haven't we seen progress? Do you have confidence in Lebanese policymakers and the government to actually get this done?
Well, the number one priority really is to restructure the banking sector. What that means is that you need to recapitalize the banks. Effectively, you have a zombie banking system at the moment. You cannot transfer money in and out of your accounts. You cannot undertake daily transactions. The whole credit cycle has been disrupted. And as a result of the crisis, you now have basically a cash economy. I estimate it at maybe over 60 to 70% of the economy is now cash-based and is highly dollarized. So until you restructure the banking sector and until you restructure the central bank as well, introduce good governance, undertake a series of reforms, in my view, abolish the Banking Secrecy Act, which has been there since 1956, but doesn't play any positive role any longer, but it hides money laundering and potentially terrorist finance and other illicit activities. So until you do those, it'll be very difficult really to get the economy stabilized and moving again. The IMF had mentioned up to 10 reforms. Yeah, and IMF...
Sorry, Nasser, finish your thought. Go ahead.
Some 10 reforms, only 3 were partially addressed by government and parliament. So until all that is done, and you're going to need a new potential agreement with the IMF. The SLA, the staff level agreement, was done in 2022. Since then, the economy has deteriorated even further. What you're talking about is a reduction of GDP by more than 60%. This is massive. There's poverty at a 40% level. Unemployment is at a 50% level. So all of that needs to be addressed. And so you need to undertake these major reforms at the fiscal level, at the banking level, at the central bank level.